reaching the ceiling of what this phone is capable of. So then I put a UK Vodafone SIM into both phones, went to 3 different spots again to test cellular speeds. I started with my desk, which sadly is a pretty low signal environment, and honestly, Samsung destroyed the Redmi. It had 2 times the download speed, almost 3 times the upload speed, faster across the board. In a medium signal environment though, it's about a draw. Samsung had higher download speeds and less latency, but Xiaomi's upload speed is clearly ahead. And this was consistent with what I found in the high signal environment, where Xiaomi's upload speed completely runs away with it, but Samsung has faster download and slightly less latency. And the real life experiences of these phones quite closely match what I found in that test. I found myself trusting the Samsung more when I get to those difficult, hard to reach places like the inside of an airplane. You will notice the Redmi signal dropping off faster, which is also not exactly surprising given that it has a less advanced 5G modem and almost definitely fewer antennae than the Samsung. Now, because of this, I was also expecting the Samsung to hit higher max speeds when you get to a city, but I guess the state of UK 5G right now is just not there. This might be different for some parts of the US, but largely speaking globally, I don't think you'll be getting close to the potential max speeds of either. So I would say the Redmi is 85% of the signal experience of the Samsung. What about battery then? For which I was fully expecting the Redmi to get demolished. I thought, well, past Redmi phones haven't exactly had the best battery, and also this is where the lack of an LTPO screen is gonna catch up with it. Well, there's 2 sides to battery. One is charging, for which it's not close. Samsung does have wireless charging, which the Redmi doesn't, but it's tough to argue against that phone's 120 watt charger that fully charges it in 20 minutes. Or in other words, 3 times faster than the absolute fastest that the Samsung can possibly charge with a charger that you'd have to then buy separately. But then the other side to this is how much life can you get out of that full charge? And this is where it swings the other way. Both phones are matched on paper with 5,000 mAh batteries, but I was running a side-by-side battery test of the 2 yesterday. I just basically pulled up YouTube and left them to it. And while the Samsung successfully reached the end of the day with 35% left, the Redmi was hanging on with 21, which is already a big difference. But then there's 3 further things in the Samsung's favor. One, that if you look really closely at the spec sheet, you'll notice that while both phones have the same capacity, they're actually using different battery technologies. Samsung with Li-ion, Xiaomi and most phones like it with Li-Poly. This is very easy to miss, but essentially Li-Poly is an older, cheaper type of tech that, while fast to charge, generally depletes faster and importantly degrades faster in the long term, which will likely be compounded by the second thing, the heat generated in Xiaomi's battery because of its ultra-fast charging. So 3 years in the future, the gap between these phones might be twice as big. And then 3, that the Samsung wastes less battery while on standby. The fact that it has a top-of-the-line Snapdragon chip means that, yes, its max power consumption will be higher when it's pushed, but it's also smarter than the mid-range chip in the Redmi, so it knows how to consume less power when it's not being pushed. As for how close that makes this battery category, well, it depends how you use your phone. I know people who constantly top up throughout the day, in which case you would weight the Redmi's fast charging more heavily. Me personally, I just want to charge my phone once overnight and then just trust that it's going to last, both during the day and then also in the long term. So for my uses, the Redmi's battery experience is a decent 25% behind what the Samsung is offering. And if you're enjoying this video, then a sub to the channel would be sensational. In terms of software then, I was surprised by this affordable phone. Xiaomi especially has a bit of a reputation with their cheaper phones for tons of ads and tons of bloatware. That's a big part of how their phones historically have been so affordable. With this, I've had neither of those 2 things. Now, whether that's because this is the China launch software as opposed to the international launch software that it will come with, or if Xiaomi views this actually as a premium phone, I don't know. But the point is, my software experience has been pretty great. The phone is running MIUI 14 based on Android 13, so it's up to date. All the animations in your day-to-day experience are smooth and beautiful and jiggly. It's got tons of customization options, everything from the way your phone responds to notifications to how your fingerprint scanner reacts as you press your finger onto it. And then the Samsung is running One UI based on Android 13, which I would describe as probably the more corporate of the 2 on the face of it. But at the same time, I do have a newfound appreciation for the sheer extent of customizability you unlock with Samsung's Good Lock app. It's probably the best you can do on Android without installing custom firmware. I mean, the actual software skin that you're going to get will depend on which brand of budget and flagship you end up going for. But the key point I'm trying to make here is that the software package you get on the affordable phone is the real deal. It's not missing anything. Where they diverge though is in the software support. The way to think about it is this. When you're selling a phone for $1,000 plus, you have far more room within that budget to justify spending the time required to keep that experience high level. And there's an incentive to, because anyone buying your $1,000 plus flagship